and welcome. I hope you guys are doing well. My name is Jen and I make plus size fashion videos. Except for today, I am actually doing a little like get ready with me quick sort of makeup tutorial. Nothing fancy, but this has actually been asked for a very long time. Over on Instagram, it's been asked for. Here, you guys have asked me about it. And I do love makeup a lot. I did makeup professionally for several years. It was kind of my side job. Tons of wedding makeup, proms. I did freelance work at MAC. I worked at Ulta. You name it. I've done a ton of makeup and I do love it so much, but I don't keep a professional kit anymore. I just don't have time. I'm just looking for a good product. I don't care who makes it. And I really keep things pretty consistently neutral, matte, simple, because that's what's easy for me to get on. And I know it's going to photograph well. I know it's going to look nice in videos. And of course, look nice if I choose to wear it in everyday life. I still love to sit down and put on a full beat if I have a reason to. It just does not happen very often these days. So I'm going to do some of this as like a voiceover. And then some of this I will actually talk you through. I just got lash extensions. Praise. You guys, I love mascara and I love having long lashes. The bigger, the better. And when you're on camera or if you're doing photography, you really can't compete with false lashes. They bring everything together. They really frame the eyes. Like, there's a distinct difference in what my videos and pictures look like with false lashes and without. But I hate gluing them on. I can't stand just the chore that it is to like get the glue just right and then try to get the placement just right. I've done magnetic and they have pros and cons. I tried to do the ones that you glue under, was not for me. And it's just, I don't know, it's a step that I don't like to take. I do it because it feels necessary. And no matter how long and thick and fluttery I get my real lashes from like using growth serums, they just don't photograph the same way they do if it's a false lash. So I finally went back to my Lash girl, just got a full set put on, and I love them. They're beautiful. She did a fantastic job. I wanted to quickly mention too that today I'm finally using my new Ricky, it's the brand Ricky Loves Ricky, the Ricky Skinny mirror. And oh my gosh, I love this thing. I've wanted one forever. I kind of thought it might be overhyped. It's very expensive, but I caught it on sale. And when it was on sale, I was like, okay, now is the time. I'm doing it. Because let me tell you, my old eyes need all the help they can get to see, number one. Number two, this has some features that are just really neat. If you're a content creator, especially, this has like a magnetic feature that it's like a little, like the mirror is magnetized and it has a special phone holder that pops onto the mirror. You put your phone in there, you turn on these bright lights. Like that's what's lighting me right now is the mirror and my crappy overhead fan light. And you just can turn your phone on and start filming. It's really cool. If you are not a content creator, but you are a beauty lover, or someone who just needs a really freaking bright mirror, it's pretty awesome. So I totally understand. May not be for everyone's budget. Am I saying it's necessary? Heck no. But if you're into this sort of thing, if you've been looking for something like this, I will link it down below because it's one of those where it's like, now that I have it, I'm like, okay, I understand what the fuss is about. But I'll find some other less expensive options too and link those down below as well. But this is kind of a game changer for being able to film content like this. So if you like this kind of thing and you want to see more beauty type stuff, I can definitely do that now. After you watch this though, you might be like, no girl, we're good. You just stick to clothes. All right, so I do have a lot of unevenness in these two skincare products from Good Molecules I've talked about before. I will link them down below. They help with brightening a ton. So to get started, I like to go in with my Benefit Professional, and this is just something that I've tried to duplicate with less expensive products, and I never can, so I stick with it. I actually have been using this CoverGirl BB cream. It's a matte BB cream for, I want to say, close to 2 years now. I bought it on a whim and ended up really liking it. It's a nice, even but light coverage. Just something that I ended up loving. So I then go over my under eye area with an Ulta brand corrector. It's a really orangey color to help cancel out all that darkness. And then I am going in with my concealer. I am currently using NARS Radiant Creamy Concealer. It is just, you know, an oldie but a goodie, because my e.l.f., while I do love it and I love how affordable it is, it's really thick. So I just been kind of frustrated with my concealer, and I decided to go with a thinner formula for now and see if maybe that helps. So blending out the concealer, going back and forth between using a brush, the same one I used all over my face, and my finger to just make sure everything's really pushed in, blended, and as seamless as possible. I do love a good bright under eye. That face I made, that powder has been through it. But the Rimmel Stay Matte Powder, you guys, is such a gem from the drugstore. So inexpensive, almost has a powder foundation type of coverage, but is not cakey, really lightweight, just a really great product at a really good price. And then my trusty little e.l.f. contour palette, I love it so much. You guys probably already know that. I'm grabbing the bronzer color and just throwing it on. You can be kind of sloppy with it, honestly, because it blends like a dream. It's not too dark. It's just a great formula. And then I've got a little bit stiffer, denser brush to do contour with. I don't use very much. It's a great cool contour type shade to just go in the hollows of the cheeks. I kind of blend it up. And then I do my temples. I do not go in a line across my forehead. I just don't like the way that looks on me. So I do my temples, and then I take whatever is left and just kind of run down my nose very quickly. And that's it for that. And then I just grab my MAC Pincho Peach blush. This is a tiny little Real Techniques brush that is very precise, helps me to not mess up any contour or bronzer. This is a great classic Pinky Peach, and it's just something I've used for years. Very, very pretty. So we're going to move on now to brows, and I love the Anastasia Brow Wiz. I have used this for years. It's another one that I've tried to replicate it, and I just really can't. So I'm grabbing a bigger mirror here to see better, but this is my natural brow, very thin. I never had to, over pluck to get the thin look that was popular. My brows are just thin naturally. So I do try to keep them a little more full maybe than what God gave me, but I don't like to go overboard. So I'm always kind of checking, blending, brushing through them, just making sure they look nice. And brows are done. So now I'm going to throw in some clear Anastasia brow gel. Again, this stuff is just worth the splurge to me. It's like glue, holds everything in so nicely, and that is our finished face. So I thought that I would explain a little bit of what I'm doing as I'm doing it. So face, brows, all of that's totally done. The only thing left to do is eyeshadow and lips. And now that I have lash extensions, the good news is for me, I don't have to put on a bunch of liquid liner, and I don't have to glue on lashes. Those are things I do it because it's what makes everything pop on camera, and I like that look. But lash extensions make it to where I don't have to do that, so praise. If I want to do the look of eyeliner, there's a trick that I use, and I'll show you how you can do that. But the first thing that I'm going to do, actually off camera, I took a little bit of concealer that was just kind of left over on my ring finger and just smoothed it over. I mean, it was like the most minuscule amount. And then I took my powder, set it, just because there's like quite a bit of discoloration. So now, because I just like neutrals the majority of the time, I have several palettes, words are hard, that I keep on hand. I wear mostly matte eyeshadow at this point in my life. You know, not that I'm old, but I'm 38, gonna be 39. There's more wrinkling, skin is different. So metallics, although I love them, they tend to travel more. And matte just always looks nice and clean and blended, whether I'm doing photography, video, daily life, whatever. I just feel like mattes always look good. So I always have my Kat Von D Shade and Light, which is really old and beat up. Most of these are. But it has great matte colors that always work. Desert Island, probably this one, just because it has everything I need. I could even do eyeshadow and contour with this if I wanted to. It has a really bright white and this nice like natural color. So sometimes I will take this color that is a little bit more yellowy and just kind of go everywhere with that, and make sure that I've got like a nice little base layer. This is not going to be perfect. It doesn't need to be. And then what I like to do is take a fluffy brush, which by the way, the brush I just used is a Sedona Lace 305. I don't even know if Sedona Lace is in business anymore, if I'm being perfectly honest. It's a real old brush. So I will link makeup brushes. I use a lot of Morphe. I use a lot of Real Techniques. I have some MAC brushes that I love. So I will link to some favorite brushes just down in the description. I'm sorry, I sound really nasally. It's not that. I promise, I know for sure that's not what it is. I am like dealing with some major like allergy, cold type stuff. So apologies for that. But some of these that I'm going to be using in the video are Morphe. This Morphe 441, and this is a MAC 212. The numbers are almost rubbed off. So my brushes are loved, used over and over again. A lot of these are even go back to when I was doing makeup, which I haven't done makeup professionally in years, but when you buy good products and you take care of them, they really do last for a long time. So it's worth it to invest in having good products, having good brushes. I don't get the most expensive all the time. I mix it up. The bottom line is, whether you paid $5 for it or $50, if it's a good quality product, it's a good quality product. And if you take care of it, it's going to last you. So that's kind of how I do it. I am certainly not a brand snob when it comes to makeup. So, I'm now going to do this color right here, which I don't know. Yeah, they have names. I'm not going to go through and try to tell you all the names though. So this is just a very basic kind of warm shade, the transition shade, as the beauty folks say, and that just kind of gets some color in your crease and helps everything else kind of blend together, and is like kind of the first step that I like to do, but then it's a step I may go do again at the end if I need to kind of blend a little bit more, bring things up a little bit higher. This is a shade that you might see me use several times throughout the process if needed. I really do apologize for sounding so terrible. So to keep this very simple, the next thing I'm going to do is grab this shade right here. So you'll notice this is kind of cooler. This is warmer. I'm telling you guys, this is cooler. And so I kind of like the mix sometimes of having like warm and cool together. I don't like it when things get way too orangey, or when things get that like purpley gray. Like I kind of like a mix. So this is actually, it's cooler, but it's also, it's probably, you might categorize it as neutral. It's basic brown is what it is. So I have that on a Morphe 441. You can tell I don't do beauty videos. And I'm just going to go right in to my crease, but I'm not going up high. This is really just for this area right here to define it a little bit more. And it is not a color that I would be trying to blend out with a fluffy brush, like blow it out and use it as a transition necessarily. This is a little bit dark for that. It looks a little bit lighter in the pan. I mean, what an embarrassment that I'm probably going to upload this and put it on the internet when I keep messing up my words. I'm sorry. I do not feel my best. But this is lighter in the pan than it goes on your eyes. So I like to start small and then build it up if I need to, because while these may look light in the pan, these are highly pigmented shades. Like, that's one of the nice things about this and why it has lasted me so long, is because this has so much pigment. You do not need a ton. So I tend to go really like less than what I think I need, because you can go way overboard real quick. So this is literally just going in the socket, and I kind of go back and forth and do little circles until it looks something like that. And one of my favorite things in the whole wide world is the underbrow highlight. And the reason why is because it's really the thing that can bring your eyes like just to this place where they look their most wide and awake and really like lengthen, and just, I don't know, give this sort of really lifted, that's the word I'm looking for, like lifted look to your eyes. So I'm going to go in with that color right there, one of those brighter white shades, and I'm going to get it like just right there. And I'm going to tap that off. You can see how pigmented that is. And like when I dusted it off and it landed on that gray, like these shadows are really no joke. This palette's been around for a long time. But if you've never used it, man, it is serious business in terms of packing a punch. So I like to just go right in under my eyebrow with a really light color, and it just pulls everything together. And then I'll do it like right at the highest point, add a little bit more, and it's like this instant eye lift. And you can kind of take what's left and put it kind of in your inner corners if you want to. That's it. That's all. You could go further with this if you wanted to. I just don't think there's a reason to. That's plenty of makeup for me. If I wanted to make this like a super dark smoky eye, then I could take some of these darker colors, put them all over the lid, blend them up into the crease, and that would be great too. But I don't do that very often. However, if I wanted to do eyeliner, so I told you guys my little trick when I have lash extensions and I want it to look like I'm wearing eyeliner, but I don't want to go in with like liquid or pencil because that can be difficult to get off without using products that would kind of compromise your lash extensions. You take one of these flat, thin brushes like this and go in with your darkest color you want to use. So this is black, pure black. Load the brush up, tap off the excess, like really tap it off, or blow on it. That's not sanitary if you're doing someone else's makeup. If you're doing your own makeup and that doesn't gross you out, do your thing. To be the most sanitary, tap it off. But what you can do is you can move the lashes down, and then you can literally just stamp all across your eye, and you can get the same look of eyeliner without having a bunch of product on your eye. So actually, let me do that off camera, just because I think I would have to get too close to really do it accurately. Let me do that off camera. I'll be right back. Okay, so I have got the eyeliner on, and you can see it's just a really soft line. It's not harsh at all, but it does give a little more definition if you feel like you want or need that. So it's just a little trick that I like to use, especially to, like, in the past when I did makeup, if I was working on clients who did not traditionally or typically wear a lot of eyeliner or a lot of eye makeup, I can do that with any color. It doesn't have to be black. It can be really dark, like chocolatey brown, or like a really pretty eggplant shade. So that was kind of a go-to that I did for anybody who liked more soft blended makeup, who maybe was just like, oh, I don't think I like the idea of a black liquid line. It's a really great trick, especially for makeup beginners. It's just a little bit more manageable, softer. You can also wet your brush and do that and get kind of a liquid look too, if you just really struggle with how to use like a pen or a brush tip or something like that. So just a little trick. But yeah, this is everything for face and eyes. This is a very typical makeup look for me. For lips, I really like to go either super bright or very neutral. Those are kind of my two favorite looks, and I have been singing the praises forever now, it feels like. After my toddler got into my stash of MAC lipsticks, I discovered the Maybelline ink crayons, and I have talked about these in several videos. I use these a lot, and I got a couple new colors recently. I got number 25, Stay Exceptional, and I got number 155, Achieve It All. And then my red that I usually wear is number 50, Own Your Empire. So great shades and really just easy to throw on. These are not fussy. They are just a great product. So throw that on. It's a really pretty pink. Very mauve-y, I guess you would say. And kind of reminds me of, it's a little pinkier than Whirl by MAC. Kind of like Soar, which got really popular when Kylie Jenner would wear it. Soar is a color from MAC, and I worked a lot of freelance hours and shifts at a MAC counter, so I know all of the old cult classic favorites because many of them are still my favorites to this day. So just soft, pretty easy. I love a good, simple, neutral, but still very defined kind of look. And this is all there is to it. It's not fancy, but it definitely gets the job done. So if you use any of the same products that I do, let me know down below in the comments which ones you use and why you love them. I think it's interesting sometimes when people love the same product, but it might be for totally different reasons. So let me know if you share any of my favorites, and then also drop me your like ride or die, tried and true favorites. If there's something you've been using for a decade, let me know what it is. I love to find new beauty products to try out. So thank you so much for watching. Be sure to come follow me on Insta. Shop everything down below if there's anything you want to add to cart. And listen, right now, things are crazy out there, but I want you to know I love and value every single one of you so much. And winter has never been my favorite. Sometimes January feels really dark, but I always try to remember this time of year, sunshine is coming. So if things are dark where you are right now, I hope the light finds you soon. Love you guys so much. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.